Hi, everybody. We're going to start today's workout slowing it down much more than we're used to. We're going to come into a very gentle hatha flow today. So, very minimal standing postures, working a lot into our hips. So, places we tend to store a lot of tension, a lot of tightness, especially from doing all the heavy lifts that we've been doing lately. This is very supportive for our mobility, our flexibility, as well as our emotional well being, our mental well being, our nervous system regulation. So many benefits of adding yoga into your fitness practice. So, we're going to start today coming down onto our back. So, getting ready, laying down. And then when we're on our back, really just allowing the body to let go into the surface beneath it. So notice whether you're really holding some tension in your shoulders. Are your hands clenched? How are your feet feeling? And then really bring your attention, your awareness to your hips. How do your hips feel right now? Maybe one side feels a little tighter, feels a little bit more tense than the other. Maybe you feel a little pain and discomfort with your legs extended. You always have the option just to bend your knees slightly. You can tuck that tailbone under and protect that lower back space. If you'd like to allow the knees to fall into each other, this is also very supportive of any lower back issues. We're going to start to bring our attention to our breath. Really slow down the inhale and slow down the exhale. Allow the eyes to close or just soften the gaze, allow it to come out of focus. And as you take a deep breath in, really feel that belly rise, fill the chest with air, and then allow the chest, the belly to fall back in towards the body. Nice big breath, slow release. Notice if you're clenching your jaw. Notice the sensations that are showing up for you today. And bring your attention down to your toes. Wiggle your toes, scrunch your toes, and then release your toes. Notice that sense of relaxation you just created in the feet. And allow that relaxation to spread up your legs towards your knees. Allow that calming energy to swirl around your knees, letting relaxation set in. And then relaxation spreads up through the thighs, into the hips. Notice if there's tension building, and let that relaxation swirl around the hips, the pelvis, the low back. See if you can let go and feel supported by the mat beneath you. And relaxation spreads up the torso. The mid back relaxes, the upper back, the chest, the collarbone. So bring your awareness, your attention to your fingers. Wiggle the fingers, scrunch them into a fist, hold, and release. Allow the back of the hands to be supported, the fingers to gently curl open. That relaxation spreads through the arms, up to the elbows, the biceps, the triceps, and into the shoulders. The shoulders often hold the weight of the world, any tension we're feeling. Just notice today how your shoulders are showing up for you during practice. Are you able to relax and soften them? That relaxation spreads up through the neck into the jaw. Another big place of tension for most as we clench our jaw when we feel stress, anxiety, fear. See if you can allow your jaw to just part slightly. The tongue is just heavy in the mouth. And one of the last places we hold tension when we furrow our brows. That space between the eyebrows, the seat of our third eye. See if you can soften. See if you can allow that relaxation to spread all over the body, the face, down through the shoulders, the torso, the legs, back down to the toes. The breath is soft. And as we lay here, before we start any movement, notice if thoughts start to come into the head. Are you running a to-do list? Do you have some thoughts creeping in, some unfinished business that's weighing on your mind? See if you can acknowledge those thoughts, appreciate those thoughts. And during practice today, if those thoughts creep back in, come back to your breath. Come into a 4 count in, 2, 3, 4, and a 4 count out, 2, 3, 4. Really focusing on the rhythm of the breath to try to quiet the mind, still the body, keeping the nervous system balanced, the body in a state of relaxation. And then when you're ready, start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, gentle movement here. And then slightly bend one knee at a time. Careful if there's any lower back tension, any pain, any discomfort. We're just going to gently rock the hips from side to side. And on your next breath in, one knee at a time comes into the chest, using your arms to pull the knees down nice and tightly. Tuck the tailbone underneath the body into a nice little ball, but little stretch for the back. And you can gently rock the body from side to side, massaging out any lingering tension or tightness. Keeping the shoulders soft, the jaw unclenched. And keeping the right knee in towards the chest, we're going to slowly allow that left leg to come down to the mat. Interlace the fingers around your right shin. Nice and deep breath in. And as you begin to exhale and make space between the thigh and the chest, pull that thigh in to fill that space. Feel that nice compression. And we're holding here. The jaw stays soft, the face relaxed. Just you and your breath. We're going to slightly bring that right knee over towards the right armpit, getting a little bit deeper into our hip. So as we really begin to work into the hips, releasing tension and tightness, oftentimes we store emotion deep down into the hips as well. The hips tend to really tighten during our fight or flight response, our stress response, which can be induced by any kind of stress, fear, anxiety, sadness. And if we are somebody who tries to suppress our feelings, we oftentimes store them in these tight places, our shoulders, our hips, our jaw. So as we work to release and soften, just be aware if these emotions start to arise. See if you can bring that right knee over to the armpit just a little bit more, really working into that right hip. And that right knee comes gently back to center. We're bringing our left knee back in. Great big hug, rock from side to side if that feels good. And keeping the left leg in towards the body, the right leg extends out and down onto the mat. Interlace the fingers around the left shin. Nice deep breath in. And with that exhale, we hug the leg into the body. And we're holding here, shoulders soft, breath slow. And if it feels good to close your eyes in these few poses, feel free to do so. Feel free to really tune into the body. And then we're slowly bringing that left knee over towards that left armpit, just opening up through that hip. We're going to hold. We're going to allow that tension to start to lessen, to dissipate, to soften. When you feel a little relief, let's open that knee towards the armpit just a little bit more. And then we're going to hold there again. Slow down the breath. And let's gently bring that left knee back towards the chest. The right knee comes in as well. Great big hug. You can rock if that feels good. Good. We're holding that right knee in towards the body. Again, the left leg's going to extend out and down. This time we're going to take the right knee, cross it over the body, extend that right arm out. And we're coming into a gentle supine twist. So I want you to keep the right shoulder on the ground. We're twisting from that lower back space. And that doesn't mean that right knee is going to come all the way down to the ground. If you have a block or a pillow, you can use that under your knee for more support. And we're holding here. Maybe the head gently gazes towards that right hand. And we're taking nice, deep belly breaths here, really sending that air in towards the stomach. Slow down the breath. Good. With our nice deep breath in, we're going to bring that right knee all the way back to center. Bring it in towards the chest. The left knee comes to meet it. Great big hug. And if it feels good to rock, any gentle movement, any intuitive flow. And then the left knee stays in, the right leg is going to extend out and down, guiding that right knee across the body over to the right. Left shoulder stays on the mat, palm faces up. And then just notice here if one side feels a little bit more tight for you. For me, I can definitely feel more of a pull through my left glute, left lower back, and my left knee doesn't come as far over the body. So just notice these little imbalances. The more we can stretch through or strengthen, the better it's going to be for our daily life. Getting rid of those little imbalances and knowing where those little imbalances are, and then really working to support and rectify. Allow your gaze to maybe turn towards that left hand. softening here. Good. Guiding that knee back to center. Bringing it in towards the chest. The right knee comes to meet it. Give yourself a great big hug. And again, if it feels good to just gently rock from side to side, bringing in that movement. And for the next pose, if you have a strap or you have a belt, that might come in handy. We're going to come into happy baby pose. So grabbing with the outsides of the feet, bringing the knees in towards the armpit. The soles of the feet are shining up towards the ceiling. So a nice deep hip opener. We're pulling on our hands to pull our knees in towards the armpit. At the same time, I want a little counter resistance. We're going to push the feet into the hands. So really feeling that opening in the hips. And then if it feels good, maybe gently rocking from side to side. And this pose is called happy baby, maybe bringing a smile to the face, a little bit of lightness to the body. Nice deep breath here. And if you're using a strap that's coming around the soles of your feet and you have a hand in either strap. Slow down that breath, breathe through any discomfort, any tension, any tightness. And then gently release, knees come back into the chest. Good. We're going to cross the ankles and gently either rock or make your way into a seated position. Coming into all fours, bringing the big toes together, sliding your knees so they're mat width apart, and send the hips back towards the heels. Reach those fingertips to the top of the mat. Coming into happy baby pose. Allow the chest to melt through the legs. Maybe the forehead or the chin connects down to the mat. Feeling a stretch down our lat. Maybe feeling it into the low back. Still working through the hips here. Nice gentle breath. And if it feels good again, you can sway the hips from side to side. Another breath in through the nose. And gentle breath out. Pressing into the palms, we're going to come into a tabletop position. Our shoulders are stacked directly over our wrists, our hips over our knees, curling the toes under, pulling that core in nice and tight and having a neutral spine. So we're not coming into a nice arch here. We're not going to stick our backs up. Our core is engaged and we're coming into just that nice flat back. Right hand comes to the back of the head. Big inhale, reach that elbow up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring that elbow to the inside of that left arm. Big breath in, open up. Exhale to close. Inhale, moving with your breath to open. Exhale, breath to close. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale, open up. This time, reach that right arm to the ceiling. Notice if you have lots of tension and tightness in your shoulders. And as we exhale, we're sliding that right arm underneath the left, palm facing down, coming down onto our shoulder. The head connects down to the mat. And press that left palm into the mat. See if you can press it to open up through that side of the body. So as we press, we're coming into a little bit of a rotation to the left with our upper body. Pressing that right palm down, softening the body here. Really working through the upper back, the thoracic region. Still coming into a nice deep twist here. Send that breath into the belly. Another inhale through the nose. And as we exhale, press into that left hand to come back to center, right hand connect, we're back into our table. This time the left hand comes to the back of the head. Inhale to open. And exhale, close. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, moving with your breath. Exhale. Again, notice if one side's a little bit more tighter. Inhale. Exhale, close. Nice, slow, gentle movements. Don't rush. Inhale, reach that left arm up. And exhale, slide that left hand underneath the right, palm facing down, come down onto that left shoulder. We're taking that right palm, pressing it in to rotate through that upper back. Nice deep breath here. Good. Slow exhale. Slow it down. Acknowledge any thoughts that are creeping in as we work to release some tension. One more breath in. And with that exhale, push through that right palm, come back into table. Good job. Come back into that nice core connection, tailbone slightly tucked under, neutral spine, joints are stacked over each other, toes are curled under. Step the right foot back, and I want you to really press that right heel to the back of the room. Try to keep that leg straight, really working through the calf. Oftentimes we forget to stretch this muscle. Don't let the core go here. Want to maintain that core engagement, always protecting that lower back, working to strengthen. Good. If you feel that tension start to dissipate in the calf, see if you can press that heel towards the back of the mat just a little bit deeper. Good. And bring that right knee back in. Curl the right toes under. Step the left foot back. Press the left heel to the back of the room. We're gazing straight between our hands, trying not to bring any tension into the neck. Slow the breath. Push that heel towards the back of the mat. Stretch through those tight muscles. Good. Come back to center. Walk those hands to the top of the mat, coming back into child's pose just for a moment. Maybe rocking from side to side feels good here. Maybe you're already noticing a little less tension in the hips and the back and the shoulders. It's so important that we work to strengthen our body. And we're doing that through our resistance training, but it's also really important to stretch the body, not forgetting about our mobility or flexibility. Oftentimes, lack of mobility, lack of flexibility hinders our weight increase, our range of motion through exercise. So yoga is such a good practice to bring in to support that journey. Pressing through the palms, coming back into our tabletop position, pulling our core in, slightly tucking that tailbone. Our toes are curled under. Inhale, breath here. And as we exhale, we're sending our tailbone all the way up to the ceiling. Coming into downward facing dog. The palms are pressing nice and firmly into the mat. Fingertips press down, but we're going to soften our shoulders. And then maybe begin to bend one knee at a time, send the opposite heel down towards the ground, really pedal out those feet. See if you can feel more of that stretch for the hamstrings, for the calves. Soften the face, unclench the jaw, shoulders are soft. And then we're going to straighten the legs. Heels are reaching towards the back of the mat, but we're not necessarily going to connect down. You can take a slight little bend to your knees as well if you have a lot of pulling in your hamstring. Good. Core stays engaged. Take a breath here. And then on our exhale, we're dropping our knees down. Inhale, arch the back, lift that tailbone, gaze rises. Exhale, right back into down dog. Inhale, knees drop down, coming into that arch, stretching through the core, gaze lift. Exhale, downward facing dog, slow the breath. Inhale into that arch in our table. Exhale, down dog. Again, inhale into that arch, lift that tailbone, press the palms down, lift the gaze up. Last time here, exhale into down dog. We're gonna hold our down dog. Sway the hips side to side here. Good, pedal out the feet again. Open up through the backs of the legs, palms pressed down. Shoulders are soft. We're not pulling the shoulders up to our ears here. Take another breath. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, drop those knees down. And we're coming into a kneeling position. We're going to very carefully step that right foot forward. Uncurl the left toes and lean forward into that right. If you have a block, you can have a block underneath either hand here for added support. You can also use a book, your water bottle, whatever you have handy. And as we're here, I want you to ground through the big toe, the outside of the right foot in your heel. Really work to extend that right knee forward, stretching through the back hip flexors. If you have a job that you work at a desk or you drive a lot or you just have a lot of seat in your life, you might often feel a lot of tension, a lot of tightness in your hip flexors. It's a really nice, gentle way of really stretching them out. If you'd like to lift your arms up, bring in more core balance, you can. If you're lifting your arms, lifting your gaze, allow your shoulders to sink down. Another breath here, inhale. And as we exhale, fingertips are coming down. We start to straighten the right leg. Really focusing on that hamstring stretch into the glute. And if it feels okay, we're folding forward. Again, anytime we stretch through those hamstrings, you can take a micro bend to your knee to alleviate a little bit of that pulling. Coming back to your breath, slowing it down. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, we're coming right back into that low lunge. This time we're planting the left hand down to the inside of that right foot, and we're reaching the right arm up. Actively press your left hip down towards the ground. You can allow gently that right knee to open out to the side, lifting that right arm up. Holding here. If you have any shoulder issues, you can place that hand on your lower back. Good. Connect in with that breath. Soften the face. On your next exhale, right hand's going to come down to the inside of your right foot. We're heel toeing that right foot to the edge of your mat. And now this time we're actually going to allow that knee to fall open, rolling onto the edge of our foot. You can stay here, upright, or you can come down on your forearm. As we're down on our forearms, you're going to really feel this opening in the hips. Good. Pressing up on one hand at a time. Slowly heel toeing that right foot back to center. Right hand comes to the outside. And one more time, walking those fingers back, coming into that hamstring stretch. So really working on all those tight muscles. Inhale, come to center, and we're gently going to bring that foot back into our table. Curl both toes under, coming into a kneeling position. Carefully stepping the left foot forward. Again, I really want you to bring body awareness here to the imbalances you may feel side to side. Uncurl your right toes, actively lunging forward into that left knee, stretching through the right hip flexor this time. We're going to hold here, actively pushing that left knee forward, right hip down. Core is engaged, breath is slow, shoulders soft. If you'd like to reach your arms up, you can, keeping those shoulders relaxed. Trying not to let that knee fall inwards. We want to ground through the big toe, the outside of the foot, the heel. Inhale, breath. And exhale, fingertips come down. Gently start to straighten that left leg. And we're folding forward. And just notice if you feel more tension in the left side, if your hamstrings are holding more of that tightness, you always have that option of that little micro bend. Good. Holding here for another breath or two. And then inhale, we're starting to come forward, planting that right palm down. Nice deep lunge into that left knee and reach that right arm or left arm up, or that left hand's going to come to the lower back. Good. Actively push that right hip down. Soften the gaze or close the eyes. Try to tune into the breath. Then the left hand comes down inside of the left foot, heel toe the left foot to the edge of the mat. Allow the left knee to fall open to the side, exposing the sole. We're on the side of our foot. You have the option to stay here, even if you came down on your forearms for the right side. Often one hip is a little tighter than the other, or you're coming down onto the forearms, breathing through this release. Slow it all down. Good. Another full breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's push back up on our left hand, then our right. Heel toe that left foot back to center. Last time, starting to walk those fingertips back, straightening that left leg and folding. Nice deep breath in. And see if you can really slow that breath out. And then press into the fingers. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, let's step that left foot back, coming back into our table. Knees come mat width apart. Send the hips back to the heels. Walk the fingertips, sink down into your child's pose. Allow your body to rest. Slow it all down. Press into the palms, shifting back up to our tabletop, curling our toes under. Nice deep breath here as we engage our core. And with our exhale, sending our hips up to the sky, coming into downward facing dog, swaying those hips from side to side, loosening up any tightness. And then take a bend to your knees, gaze towards your hands. We're going to take a bunch of little baby micro steps until our toes reach the heels of our hands. Start to straighten those legs. Allow yourself to remain folded. Grab for opposite elbows. You can add a slight little bend to your knees here. Allow the head to just hang. Maybe sway from side to side. Shake the head yes, no. See if you can just release any tension in the neck. And you can bob up and down, trying to decompress the spine. And then allow the fingertips to just gently dangle towards the ground. Take all effort out of this pose. And then planting the left fingertips down, bend through that right knee. We're going to open up to the right. Inhale, breath here. Exhale, right hand down, bend through that left knee, reach the left arm up. Exhale, lower the left hand, bend through the knees, plant the palms down. We're going to gently walk those feet all the way back to downward facing dog. Take a moment, sway the hips here. Relax the neck. Drop the knees down to the mat right into our child's pose. Holding here for a few breaths. And then press into the palms, walk your fingers, come into a seat. Take a sip of water if you need one. We're going to place our hands behind our back, bend the knees, place the right ankle over the left thigh, and then start to walk the hands in, walk that left foot in. So coming into a position here where you feel that nice stretch through your right glute. Keep the right foot flexed. If this is too much to be doing this seated, you can come down on your back and come into a reclined figure four as well. So if your hips are nice and open and you're not feeling much stretch in this pose, to take this pose a little bit further, you can grab your left arm and wrap your arm around your foot so that the sole of your right foot is resting in your bicep. You're going to take your right arm, you're going to wrap it around your right thigh and interlace your fingers. Start to walk that left foot around our way. And you have your arms supporting your shin against your chest. And if you're here, you're going to gently rock from side to side. If you're in the supported seated figure four, you're going to hold, you're going to breathe, and you have the option to continue walking that left foot in towards the body. Good. So this pose here is called rocking the baby. Maybe gazing down at your leg lovingly, bringing some joy to your practice, some lightness. And then to gently come out of this pose, we're going to bring our left foot back in so our thigh supports that right ankle again. Hands come behind the body. And we're all going to gently walk that left foot forward just enough so we can carefully take the right foot away. So the right foot's coming down. We're crossing the left ankle over the right thigh. Just remember, one side is often tighter than the other. For me, it's my left. And we're going to gently walk that right foot into the body. And maybe we're holding here. Slowly breathing through that hip release. Maybe feeling the piriformis. Everything stretching nicely. Good. And maybe you're taking this a little bit further. That right arm wraps around, supporting the sole of the foot in the bicep. The left arm's coming in around that left thigh. Hands are interlaced here. And then slowly walk that right leg out. And we're just doing little rocks, keeping that shin in nice and close to the body. Keeping it parallel to the ground so we can really work into the hip, to the glutes. Softening the jaw. Just notice if you're clenching. Good. That right foot comes back in. Release the leg. Walk that right foot out just enough so that left foot can come down. Good. Bring the feet nice and wide. Both knees drop to one side and then the other, coming into a little windshield wiper action here to just reset and balance the hips out. Slowing the breath down. Nice. Coming back to center. Soles of the feet come together, knees out to the side. If you have some blocks, you can place them under your knees so that it's not as of an intense hip opener. If you have pillows, same option. Taking the thumbs, opening the soles of the feet up to the sky, bringing the heels in as close as comfortable to the body. Nice deep breath in and exhale, keeping the spine nice and neutral. We're folding forward. So we're not allowing it to fully round here. We want to keep it a nice straight spine. And as soon as you feel that first little bit of resistance, we're pausing and holding, breathing through. If it feels good to close your eyes here, you can. Slowing everything down. When that tension starts to dissipate, seeing if you can take a deep breath in. And with your exhale, can you fold just a bit deeper? Let's do that again. Inhale, breath through the nose. And as we exhale, can we fold just a bit deeper? Inhale, coming all the way back up to center. Hands come to the outside of the knees, using those hands to guide the knees back together. Let's come back into that windshield wiper one more time. Good. Slow down that breath. Soften. See if you can relax just a bit more. And come back to center. Straighten the right leg. Sole of the left foot comes to the inner right thigh. And what I want you to do before we fold is square our hips to that right leg. And then we're folding forward. You can reach for the sole of your foot, your ankle, your shin, whatever feels accessible in this fold for you. Again, we're really targeting the hamstrings here. So if you have tight hamstrings, you might have to take that soft bend to your knee. We want to hold through that dull, achy feeling, but we don't want to feel anything sharp or sudden. Can we use our breath as we hold through discomfort? Can we try to find some stillness in this discomfort? See if we can soften, relax, and release. And gentle inhale, coming back to center. And we're going to switch sides. Left leg extends, sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh, squaring the hips to that left leg, and then folding forward. Doing a quick little body scan. How is our eyebrows? Are they furrowing, or is our face soft? And what about our jaw? Is it clenched or is it relaxed? Are our shoulders soft in a socket, or are they up by our ears? And lastly, how's our breath? Is it steady, or is it very quick and shallow? Inhale, breath coming all the way back up. And we're gonna bend both knees. Arms come alongside the body. Very gently activating our core. We're gonna lower all the way down. But as we do this, we're gonna do it vertebrae by vertebrae, really bringing in that core control, slow and steady. And when our back is on the mat, knees come into the chest. Give yourself a great big hug, rock from side to side. Slowing everything down here. And releasing the knees. Keep the feet together, knees are bent. Allow both knees to now just gently fall over to the right. Again, if you have a block or pillow and would like to support under that right knee, you can. The hands just rest wherever comfortable. Both shoulders remain on the mat. And our breath starts to really slow down. Inhale, knees back to center. And then very gently to the left. Inhale, knees back to center, back into the chest. Give yourself another great big hug. This time, see if you can tuck your nose in towards your knees, roll into a little ball, squeeze, 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 rock, rock, rock. Hold yourself as tight as you can. Nice deep breath in through the nose. And then with your exhale, release everything down to the mat. Maybe your legs are extended. Maybe you're keeping your knees bent. Maybe they knock in towards each other. And we're going to hold here, closing out our practice. Take a deep breath in and slow exhale. This time with our next deep breath in, I want you to create a fist with the hands, scrunch the feet, pull the shoulders up towards the ears, create as much tension in the body as you can. Inhale and exhale, release everything. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And allow your body a few moments of rest, of restore, of relaxation. Thanking your body for showing up today just for you, for this beneficial movement, mind, body, soul. And then just notice the state of the mind. How are you feeling now versus the beginning of practice? Is anything that was weighing on you showing up, or were you able to let go and be fully here? And taking another moment or two where we start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, allow the head to rock gently from side to side. And then with a nice deep inhale, reach the arms up, stretch the legs, point the toes, lengthen the entire body. And exhale, release. Rolling onto whichever side of the body feels best. And just pause there for a moment. Try not to rush through the last little bit of practice. Make our transitions slow, steady, and mindful. And then pressing into one of the hands, coming all the way up to seated. Closing out our practice together, coming into a comfortable seat. Maybe allowing the backs of the hands to rest on the knees, the shoulders to soften. If it feels good to have your hands come to prayer at heart center, bow your head gently to yourself, to the universe, to those practicing with you. Feeling our practice with our breath energy. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth, the sigh. Let go of any tension. Again, nice deep breath in. And sigh it out. Last time in through the nose. And sigh. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a wonderful practice. Until we meet again, namaste. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you back here for our next workout.